Okay, radius vector going from, not growing, going from 3, 1, 2 to 2, 1, 5, and a force acting along 3 I cap plus 4 j cap minus k cap. Find the torque acting on the body. So the radius vector is going from 1.3, 1, 2. Assume all distances are in meters to 2, 1, 5. So r vector will become equal to final vector. So 2 minus 3 I cap plus 0 j cap plus 5 minus 2 k cap. So when I work this out, it becomes minus I cap plus 0 j cap plus 3 k cap. Okay. Now I have given you the force vector. Force vector F is equal to 3 I cap plus 4 j cap minus k cap. So you all know some determinant method, I, j, k, and then you put minus 1, 0, 3, and you put 3, 4, minus 1, and then you simply expand this. So you will get a torque. Torque is a vector quantity. Torque is the rotatory effect of a force. Torque is responsible for rotating a body. Torque is also responsible for stopping a body. Okay. So if we understand this, then we can move on. Okay, so if you get it, let's move on. So you can now find out how to do it. So I cap, this will become minus 12 I cap minus j cap 1, 9, so minus 6. So minus 9, 8 j cap, I think 8, no, 8, 1 minus 9, yeah, 8 j cap minus 8 j cap, k cap, if you see, minus 4 k cap. So this is going to be the torque acting on the body. Yeah. So yeah, so expand this determinant about this, you will get the torque acting on a body. Okay, so if you understand this, fine, great. Then some small simple questions. First, understand that if a body is in equilibrium, sum of torques acting on the body is 0. That means there is no net torque acting on the body. Yeah, so that's it. So there are a lot of questions which are possible here. We will answer all of them. So first, most simple questions which are there in your textbook also. Here there is a floor like this. This is a ladder. This is a ladder. The question is, there is no friction on this wall. Mu is equal to 0. Here there is friction. Mu is equal to mu. The ladder has a mass m, length L. At what angle theta will the ladder be in equilibrium? At what angle theta will the ladder be in equilibrium? There's a ladder which has a mass m and a length L. At what angle theta will the ladder be in equilibrium? So can you quickly work it out? So the way you work out these questions is to first draw a free body diagram and show all the forces which are acting on the body. So draw a free body diagram and show all the forces which are acting on the body. So here at the center of mass will be m downwards. At this point, there will be normal reaction upwards. At this point, there will be normal reaction here. Then this will tend to slide back. So there will be frictional force in this direction. Frictional force is mu into nr. So these are all the forces. Once I understand these forces, then I take upward force and downward force. So I will have nr1. nr1 is equal to mg. Then left side force is equal to right side force. Then I'll have mu into nr1 is equal to nr2. So nr1 is equal to mg. So mu into mg is equal to nr2. Yeah. So mu into mg is equal to nr2. So this is fixed. nr1 is equal to mg. This is fixed. Now what we need to know is, because it's in equilibrium, it's also under rotational equilibrium. So I find the torque about this point. The torque about this point is that this is going to pull it downwards. So this is going to move it in the anti-clockwise direction. So the anti-clockwise torque, which is the positive torque, so the anti-clockwise torque is equal to mg into perpendicular distance. So it will become L by 2 cos theta. Okay, that is the anti-clockwise torque. Then I will have a clockwise torque. So that clockwise torque will become negative. So that will become nr2. nr2 is mu into mg into L into sine theta. And because it is in equilibrium, net force, net torque is equal to 0. So now these two become equal to each other. So mg, L gets cancelled. So very simply, I'll have the tan theta is equal to 1 by 2, or theta is, sorry, not tan theta. Tan theta is equal to 1 by 2 mu. So theta is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2 mu. So this is the angle at which it will be in equilibrium. So there are these kinds of logics which we need to work and apply. So here I have put mu here equal to 0. The next question we will do there with some mu. So if you understand this, we can move on. Okay, so if you get it, we are doing good. Now, next question we can just write down. This angle here is 60 degrees. Okay, the ladder is in equilibrium at 60 degrees. Okay, so find coefficient of friction. Mu is the coefficient of friction. Find coefficient of friction. Mu is the coefficient of friction here and here, both places. Both at ladder, both on wall and ground. Friction is equal to mu is equal to some 0.2. No, both on ladder and the wall or ground, friction is mu. Find it. Find it if it is stable at equilibrium, if it is in equilibrium at 60 degrees. So same thing, what will happen is that you put an mg here, you put an nr1 here, you put an nr2 here. This is going to slide backwards, so you put a mu into nr1 here. This is going to slide downwards, so up you will put mu into nr2. So these are the different forces which are acting on the body. So upward force is equal to downward force. So mg is equal to nr1 plus mu into nr2. Left side force is equal to right side force. So mu into nr1 is equal to nr2. Substitute it back here. So you will get nr1 is equal to mg by 1 plus mu squared nr1. nr2 is equal to mu mg by 1 plus mu squared. This I hope all of you are able to get it. Once you get it, because it's in equilibrium, I can assume that it is equilibrium about this point. So if I take equilibrium about that point, and then also now I can work it out. So you please try to work it out. I will help you in case you are having difficulty. Even now the video is not coming. Screen is not visible. Yes, friends, is screen visible or not? Okay, thank you. Okay, so can you, I hope you got this question. Please try to find out what is the coefficient of friction. So what is the coefficient of friction? So the way we go ahead is, I have just found out NR1, NR2. Now you assume it is in rotational equilibrium about this point. I can choose any point. I choose that point where there are maximum forces so that I'll have minimum terms in my equation. So it will become mg L by 2 cos theta, because that is going to rotate it in the anti-clockwise manner. So that should become equal to nr2 into L into sine theta plus mu into nr2 into nr2 into this distance L cos theta, L cos theta. Now I have all the values with me here, so it becomes, I'll have mg L by 2 cos theta is equal to nr2. nr2 is mu mg by 1 plus mu squared L sine theta plus mu into nr2. So mu squared mg by 1 plus mu squared L cos theta. So all the mgls get cancelled. So all the mgls get cancelled. Then again I have theta is equal to 60 degrees. So if theta is equal to 60 degrees, sine theta we can find out is some 1 by 2, and cos sine theta is root 3 by 2, and cos theta is 1 by 2. So you substitute and you will get cos theta. Cos theta is 1 by 2 is equal to mu into root 3 mu into 1 plus mu square into root 3 by 2 plus mu square by 1 plus mu square into cos theta. Cos theta is 1 by 2. So all the 2's go away, and when you cross multiply you get a equation. So you will get, just take it to the other side, you will get 1 plus mu square is equal to root 3 mu plus mu square. So the mu squared gets cancelled and you will get mu is equal to 1 by root 3. So this is the way you can go, you will have to go ahead with it. I hope you are able to understand. You can make some notes and we'll change. Okay, so if you are getting it, okay, take a minute, finish it off. Okay, then one minute. Yeah, so let's move on to the another type of question here. There will be a question here like this. There is a rod here. It is resting here. This is L by 3. Mass of the rod is m. What weight must be suspended here for it to fall? Suppose m. This angle here is theta. What is the value of m so that the rod topples? Whatever the spelling is, topples about this. Topples about O. The angle is theta. So if I have to help you out again, first step always is to draw all the forces. So there is a force here acting, that is mg. There will be a force here acting, which is nr. There is a force here acting mg. Then there will be a normal reaction here. Now this is going to be my point, my origin, my fulcrum. So if this is going to be the axis or the fulcrum, what will happen is I don't have to bother about that force. Then I'm talking about that force so that it starts moving this way. So the normal reaction, it is just when it is about to lose contact with the surface. So remember, whenever a surface loses contact with another, the normal reaction is equal to 0. That is the theory. Okay, so here this normal reaction will become equal to 0. So now you can understand it very easily because this is L by 3 here. This distance here is L by 6. This distance here is L by 6. That is L by 2 minus L by 3. So mg into L by 6. That is, I am talking about this moment of this force, which is anti-clockwise, and moment of this force, which is clockwise. So mg into L by 6 must be equal to small m into g into L by 3. So now when I work this out, I can make some cancellations here. 3 will go 2. So small m will become capital M by 2. So this is how you get it. Okay. So if you understand it, great. If you don't understand it, ask me the question. So I am saying, because this is an equilibrium, what will happen is I will try to find out the torques about this point. This angle here is not very important. The angle here is not very important because this point and this, the forces are in the same direction. So the angles will also be the same. So whatever, whether it is sine theta, cos theta, I don't really have to bother about it. They'll just simply, they'll get cancelled. Okay, and then I equate the moments, then it becomes equal. This is a slightly important concept. You have got a lot of questions based on this. There is a very simple question which you have already done, principle of moments. That is, for a body in equilibrium, the clockwise moments must be equal to the anti-clockwise moments. So this is how you go ahead with it. Now I'll give you a question based on this. This is the logic that we have applied in all these questions. We have applied that. So we are finding out the clockwise moments. So this force will give the clockwise moments. These forces were giving the, these were the clockwise moments, and this is the anti-clockwise moments. In the latest question that we were working here also, this is giving the clockwise moment here. This is giving the anti-clockwise moment. So in all these questions on equilibrium, we are just trying to use that. The clockwise moments is equal to anti-clockwise moments. Okay, so if you get it, then some simple questions for you. This is a wall. There is something that is fixed here. I am tying it like this and I'm holding it. This has a length L. It has a mass M. The question is, what is the tension? What is the tension in the wire? This angle is theta. This is a wire. What is the tension in the wire? Can you find out what is the tension in the wire? Okay, so I will help you always. First step is to draw a diagram. Second step is to show all the forces which are acting. Many students make mistakes because they don't draw the forces properly. So here the force is that there is an mg acting downwards and there is a tension acting this way. Okay, so now we will have to see. Now here I cannot use upward force is equal to downward force. Why? Okay, before that, can I ask you what is the force at the hinge? At this point, is there any force acting? Option A, 0. Option B, non-zero. You may respond by putting in a mail, a message on the chat box, 0, non-zero, A or B. How many of you are left here? Okay, not many of you all. So you can respond. I am asking you in this case, what is the force at the hinge? Is it 0, option A, or is it non-zero, option B? I've got only one response, option A. Great, good. Others? Okay, good. Others? Sasikala, good. Then? Yes, Tejeshwar, Harshada, say something. Oliver, Kaushika. Yeah, so you guys say something quickly. So, A, sir. Okay. So, good. Others are not responding. So, maybe they are neutral to the question. Okay, no worries. The answer is B. There is a force acting on the hinge. See, in this particular case, if upward force has to be equal to downward force, I see there is a downward force. So something must be exerting an upward force. So who is that something? There cannot be an upward force anywhere else here. These two are perpendicular to each other. So the only place where there is an upward force is here. So there is an upward force acting here, mg. Also, leftward force must be equal to rightward force. So if there is a leftward force here, there must be a rightward force here, which is also equal to tension. So at this junction, there is a force acting. It is not 0. So the force here is not equal to 0. There is a force acting on it, and it is that force which balances these two forces. Okay, so Newton's law always applicable. Anyway, the question to you is, what is the tension in the wire? So here I cannot use upward force, downward force, leftward force, rightward force, because there is a hinge. In the previous questions, when I had my ladder, there was no hinge. This was free to move. This was free to move. Every point was free to move. Now, because there is a hinge here, this is not free to move. Okay, so now these questions can be done only by principle of moments. So here, this mass here about this point, this mass here is bringing about a clockwise moment, and this is bringing about an anti-clockwise moment, and these two should be equal. So I'll have mg into L by 2 into this distance, which I'll say is sine theta, is equal to tension into L into this distance, which is cos theta. Now I asked you what is tension. We can calculate it easily. So L gets cancelled. So T becomes mg tan theta by 2. Okay, so in such cases, I have seen questions in the JEE where they ask what is the net force acting at the hinge. So the net force acting at the hinge is equal to mg root over of tan squared theta by 4 plus 1. So we can find out whatever it is. So do you understand this? Can you make some notes? Basically, the concept that you have to understand is, in the previous questions, we started with the two, force balance, and then we did torque balance. Now, the moment it is hinged, you can't do force balance, you can do only torque balance. Okay. Okay. So I hope cleared all of you. Most of you made a mistake in your thought. Okay. So if you can make notes, we'll move on. So I found out the tension. Tension is equal to mg tan theta by 2. Okay. So once you get it, then we will move on. Okay. So if you get it, then let's go to the next question. So here is a question. So I have a cube here. So I have a cube here. The cube has a mass m. The cube has a mass m. Coefficient of friction mu is equal to 0.4. Coefficient of friction mu is 0.4. Now this is the center of mass. At a point here, I am applying a force F. The question is, what is the minimum possible force? What is the minimum possible force that should be applied, that could be applied, so that the cube moves, without toppling? This is a question which appeared in 2020 on the 7th evening slot. You got this question. So there is a cube which has a mass m, coefficient of friction is 0.4 between on the surface here. What is the minimum possible force that should be applied, that could be applied on the cube so that it moves? So they are asking you for the maximum possible value of 100 into B by A. Okay, so I just changed a little bit and I asked you, so that what is the minimum force that can be applied on F so that it starts moving without toppling? Yeah, think and work. So first step always is to draw a diagram, a free body diagram. So at this point you have mg, then there is a normal reaction which is acting, there's a normal reaction which is acting, then there is going to be a frictional force on the ground. Frictional force is mu into nr. Yeah, then you have a force here F at a distance b from the center of mass. So this distance from here to here is a by 2, where this dimension is a. So now they are asking you, it should not move like this. Instead of moving like this, it should move this way. So how will we do that? So they are talking about the minimum possible force. So when I'm applying the minimum possible force, so what do you think must be happening? When I'm applying the minimum possible force, the body is just moving. Yeah, the body is just going to move and this movement will not be happening. That means the body is in equilibrium. So if the body is in equilibrium, then I can now take torque about any point. So I'll take torque about this point. So if I look at this point, what does mg do? Mg is trying to rotate it this way. What does this frictional force doing, trying to rotate it this way? So now I can equate both of these forces. So I can say that mu into nr, mu into nr is the frictional force into this distance, a by 2 plus b must be equal to mg into a by 2. So from this I can get the value for now normal reaction is going to be what? So yeah, so this is the case. So normal reaction is equal to mg. So now if I substitute mg here gets cancelled. I can find the value for b in terms of a, and then this was the question that was asked. I can get it. Mu is 0.4 given. Can you complete it? The question is that if there is a cubical box of side A on a rough floor, which is to be moved by applying the minimum possible force at a point B above the center of mass. Because it is minimum possible force, the body is being moved such that the acceleration is or there is no toppling. Basically, there is no toppling. So if there is no toppling, I'm assuming there is equilibrium about any point. Now I need to find out B. Because I need to find out B, I just tried to see that mg is applying a clockwise, anti-clockwise torque. This normal reaction frictional force is applying a clockwise torque, and I am simply equating both of them. So when I equate both of them, nr is equal to mg, upward force is equal to downward force. I can apply now. So nr is equal to mg. Based on that, I'll get the value for B. They have asked you 100 into B by A. Toppling basically refers to this body undergoing rotatory motion in preference to linear motion. So if you don't want toppling to happen, there is no rotatory motion, there is going to be only linear motion. Okay. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay, so if you understand this, then let's move on. On principle of moments, I feel that these questions are important questions based on meter scale. But for the past couple of years, no question has come here. But my duty is to explain, so I'll just explain it. So this is a meter scale. A meter scale is usually pivoted at its center. That means at the 50 centimeter mark, if you put a knife edge, the meter scale will be in equilibrium. Now, suppose you put a known weight on this side. If you put a known weight on this side, the balance point will shift somewhere on this side. So the first kind of question that you can get is, suppose I put 150 grams at the 10 centimeter mark, and now the balance is at 45 centimeter mark. Question is, what is the weight of the scale? Can you answer this? So there is a meter scale which is balanced at the 45 centimeter mark when a 150 gram weight is applied at the 10 centimeter mark. The question is, what is the weight of the scale? So in reality, what is going to happen is that, okay, you work. I'll wait for 1 minute and then I will explain. Okay, so I will explain. Any messages are there? No. Yes, guys, be a little bit more active. We can work fast. Okay, this is 45, this is 10. So what is it here? Free body diagram will look with the weight downwards, mg. So now this is bringing about a anti-clockwise torque and this is bringing about a clockwise torque. So mg into 5 must be equal to 150 into this distance. Now what is that distance? This is 10, 45. So 45 minus 10 will become 35. So here what will happen is 5 will go 7 times. So into g, of course. So the g's will get cancelled and I'll get m is equal to 1050 grams. I hope you are able to understand. So that's a little too much. This is a little unrealistic, but that's okay. Now the next question to you is this. Okay, first you get it, then we'll move. This is the principle of moments. We are all these questions we are applying principle of moments. For a body to be in equilibrium, clockwise torque is equal to anti-clockwise torque. Draw a free body diagram to check what are the anti-clockwise torques and what are the clockwise torques, and then simply equate them. That gives you the answer. Okay, so if we have to answer, I will give you another question here. So there is this meter scale. I put, this is a different question. 150 gram weight I put at 10 centimeter mark. The balance was happening at 40 centimeters. Now I immersed it completely in liquid, then balance happened at 42 centimeters. What is the density of the mass? If this is m here, what is the density of the mass? So I have a 150 gram weight which I suspended from the 10 centimeter mark, and my balance point was at 40 centimeters. Now I moved that inside a liquid. Liquid density, liquid is water. Water has a density of 1 gram per cc. Now what happened is the balance point shifted to 42 centimeter mark. Question is, what is the density of the mass? I'm looking for your replies. So once you give me a reply, if any one of you gives me some reply, I will move up to that. So please work out something and then get it. No response. I hope you guys are working. So I do it for you. So first understand that it is balanced at the 40. So 150 to 30 must be equal to 10 into x. N is mg. Mg acts at the 50 centimeter mark. So based on this, I cancel x, this, I get x is equal. So mass of the scale, mass of scale is equal to 450 grams. Now once this is understood, then I'm immersing it in liquid. So now the balance point is shifting to 42 centimeter mark. So 42 means this distance now is 8. So can I say 8 into 450 is equal to, now this distance is becoming 32. 32 into x. So 8 will go 4 times. 4 will go 112.5 times. So x is 112.5. So that means the mass is 150. Now the apparent mass is 112.5. That means there's loss of mass 37.5. Now the density of the solid is equal to the mass of the solid by loss of mass when immersed in water. So it will now give you 150 divided by 37.5. So which will approximately be equal to 4. Yes, do we understand this? Can you just indicate some yes, no, maybe? Yeah, please give some indication, some messages you put. Yes, others also, one or two of you. Okay, so these questions are quite, I have seen a lot of these questions in the JEE Advanced. Somehow I have not seen any of them in the JEE Mains so far. Okay, this is a question that you will be doing it in your lab. So that is it. I'll just explain the question to you once again. A meter scale with unknown mass is balanced, or is in equilibrium when knife edge is at 40 cm mark with 150 gram weight at 10 centimeter mark. The mass is now fully immersed. The mass is now fully immersed and the knife edge needs to be shifted to 42 cm mark. Question is find density of the mass. So here the first one is given so that you find out the mass of the scale, and the second one is given so that you find out the loss of mass. So 150 divided by loss of mass will give you the density. Only with respect to water, with respect to other things, it won't work out. Okay, so fine. So these are the first kind of questions. There can be many more questions. So one more I will give, last one. So there is a mass here m. Yeah, so this angle here is 30 degrees. Question: what is the tension? What is the tension in each of the strings? Yeah. What is the tension in each of the strings? Okay, there are two strings here supporting a mass. That angle there is 30 degrees. What is the tension in each of the strings? So the way you go ahead with it, okay, you work on it for a minute. Always the key is the free body diagram. Once you get the free body diagram right, then there is nothing else. So here there is mg, here there is T1, here there is T2. Then T1 plus T2 is equal to mg. Now this is in equilibrium. So about this point you try to work out. So this angle, or about this point you try to work out. No issue. So mg will rotate it this way. Yeah, mg will rotate it this way. Then this tension is going to rotate it this way. So for mg, what is going to be the, so mg torque into perpendicular distance. This is the force into perpendicular distance. So that is going to be mg into, this is going to be L by 2, and it will become cos theta. If this angle is theta here, it will become cos theta. Then this must be equal to, what is this doing? This is pulling it in this direction. So pulling it in this direction means, what is the perpendicular distance? This is the perpendicular distance. So that will become T2 into L into, if this angle is theta, this is also theta. So this is also cos theta, cos theta. So cos theta cancel, L cancel. So T2 is equal to T1 is equal to mg. Now because these two are parallel, it will be like this. The moment you change the dimensions, then things will go wrong. I mean go different. So one is here like this, and the other one is, suppose it is tied like this. Now the values of tensions will be different, but otherwise this is the tension. Okay. So all, we are drawing the free body diagram. Because there is no pivot here, there is no, it is not touching anywhere, there is no external force. Only then you can bring in force concepts. Otherwise you can't bring in force concepts. Okay, then if you are getting it, there is a ladder here like this. Ladder, A and B are lifting it. A is holding at one end. B holds at L by 4 from other end. What is the force applied by A and B in lifting it? A and B are lifting it. A is holding it at one end, B holds at L by 4 from the other end. What is the force applied by A and B in lifting and moving the ladder? What is the force applied by A and B in moving and lifting the ladder? So here you have A. So A is applying a force here, normal reaction, we'll call it NR1. B is here, he is applying a force here, NR2. Mg is here. Now if you see, Mg is equal to NR1 plus NR2. There's nothing else that we can do. Next, what we want to do is, we want to see what are the equations that we get because of rotation. So because of rotation about this axis, this is going to rotate it anti-clockwise. So NR1 into L by 2 must be equal to, this is rotating it anti-clockwise, this is clockwise, must be equal to NR2 into L by 4. This distance from here to here is L by 4. So force into distance, perpendicular distance from the axis to the point of application of the force. So L gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled. So NR2 is equal to 2 times NR1. So now if I substitute here, I will get NR1 is equal to mg by 3 and NR2 is equal to 2 mg by 3. So the forces applied are mg by 3 and 2 mg by 3. Mg by 3 and 2 mg by 3. Can you work it out? Can you get this? Okay. So these are all questions of one type. What is the type? Type based on torque. What is the torque acting on a body? If there is a body in equilibrium, sum of all torques must be zero, sum of all forces must be zero. So we have done questions based on this. Sum of all torques are equal to zero and sum of all forces is equal to zero. Tomorrow's class, I will explain to you, tomorrow, next class, whenever it is, I'll explain to you rolling, and then I will do questions on moment of inertia. Okay. Okay, bye. If there are any questions, I will answer. There is nothing. Okay, I've been quite slow, so hope it's okay. If you want me to be faster, want me to teach anything specific, please message. I will do. My number. Okay. Okay, so I'll stop here. See you again later. Bye.